Hi. Okay, so this last week I posted a dessert that we've been making forever, and it was chocolate blackberry shortbread like squares. And so we were gonna make another one tonight that was like a different topping, and I wanted to make a video for that one, but we decided at the last minute to change the bottom crust. So this is kind of like flying off the seat of our pants for the bottom crust, but everything else is going to be the same with a different topping. So we decided, well, I guess in light of Avi pie, we're going to put like a pie crust on the bottom, like our signature like graham cracker crust, and then we're going to melt the chocolate in a double boiler tonight, and then we're going to put, we went round and round on the toppings, and one time we put some strawberries on it and it was really good. So we're gonna do strawberries.
Fresh strawberries.
Fresh strawberries. We're into the fresh fruit lately for the toppings. And pistachios. And
these are unsalted pistachios.
because we read that salt and strawberries do not mingle together at all. And then we even verified it, like looking, because we were tempted to do it anyway. But they just don't go together like llama, 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 diggy, diggy, bop, shubop, shawada, wada, yippity, dippity, dibble. So anyway.
They go together more like oil and water.
Yeah. So we're gonna make a graham cracker crust. I already have a video for graham cracker crust on a video for it, but we'll just do it real quick again as a refresher for this video. So we have 12 sheets. We didn't even say hi. It's been so long since we've done a video. Hi, we hope you're doing well. So 12 sheets of graham crackers, and these are honey grams, and we're going to blend them up. The pie crust. So these are just about all done. There's just a couple chunks in here. Sorry. So these are all, we just want these to be all fine, because if there's chunks in here, then it will cause the crust to falter in different areas. So it's really good if there's not any hunks in there. So we have 2 tablespoons brown sugar, and brown sugar like helps the crust stay together. And then cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon, and I just put a dash of clove in there. I really like clove. You could probably tell if you go to my blog, because it's probably like in everything. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna give this a little whirl. Hit the oven. So that's gonna be 350. And then this is, that's good. We normally never put butter in here because it just makes it really messy, but for time's sake, because we gotta hop along Cassidy, we're gonna put it in here.
How much butter did you say it was?
Well, for altitude, we're in high altitude, so we put 7 tablespoons, to 7 to 7.5, depending on how it feels, because in different months, sometimes it's drier out and sometimes it's wetter out, so it really depends, but 7 for now. And then at sea level, you can put 6 at sea level tablespoons of butter.
And obviously that's melted in the microwave, or?
Yeah, melted and slightly cooled.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I haven't done this in so long. I haven't. It's really fast and efficient when you do it in here, huh? But messy. Messy cleanup. Like we do it like in a bowl because it's easier cleanup than like cleaning this processor with butter all over it. Yeah?
That will probably be my job later. So
You are the sous.
looking forward to
The
it.
sous chef.
Yeah.
It's funny because my mom, I was baking with her recently, and it like when baking, like she's like, I can't be a sous. I wasn't saying anything about being a sous chef, but she just was like, I can't be the sous chef. I have to do this. I have to do this. She's very controlling. Very much runs the show. She's used to running every show, everywhere she goes. And so,
when you guys bake together, you guys are co-chefs.
we are co-chefs, yes. And actually, not really. I have to back down because I'll get in trouble. You know?
Oh, hello, Rainey. Coming over to say hi?
Hi, babe. She smells butter.
Oh, yes, of course. Whenever there's butter out, Rainey comes running.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if she is passed out.
That's right.
She knows the sounds and smells of butter.
That's right. Okay. So, Dave ran some calcs on this baby. And we looked at the shortbread one. We're looking for a good crust for the bottom, a nice chocolate layer, and then
Well, the whole thing was that we wanted the end product to be a little bit thicker than the typical graham cracker pie crust.
and thicker than the shortbread
Right.
one that we make.
So we actually used the same recipe that we would for a 9-inch pie crust, correct?
Mm-hmm.
For an 8-inch square, and that should make it to where it's a bit thicker than this crust typically is on pie.
Don't you love when we take you for trial runs on videos? I like spontaneity. Now.
And you're also talking about kind of pressing this a little harder, right?
Mm-hmm. My question for you is, do we want to reserve any for the top? Nah.
No.
Okay. Did your calculations say?
So how hard are you pushing on that?
I'm pushing fairly hard. I mean, harder than I do for a pie crust. I mean, well, we want it to still be light. We don't want it to be like hard, but we do want it to be harder than like on pie crust. I want it to be where you can fork it and it's light and, you know, breaks off easily. But for this, we want it to be where you can hold it in your hand and it doesn't all fall apart.
Yeah, or when you take a bite, the rest of it just crumbles.
Or, I think that's what I was just gonna say. I think that I just realized that you stole the words like right out of my gap. Okay, so what we're
Great
gonna
minds
do,
think alike, right?
yes, is we are going to put this in the refrigerator for 10 minutes and get it nice and solid. I learned that from Pie Guy, who is like my pie guru. So 10 minutes, and then we are going to bake this at 350, and then we will be back. Okay? Thank you. Okay, so the crust is out and it's cooling. We had it sitting here, and then we put it in the fridge just to kind of cool it more. And I'm gonna throw all this chocolate in. And this is like 10 3/4. It would be the equivalent of
Ounces, 10 to
yeah,
24
ounces.
ounces.
It'd be the equivalent of like 3/4 of a bag of chocolate chips, or 10 3/4 ounces of chopped chocolate. And double boil. You can do it in the microwave if you want. I've done that plenty of times, but you just have to be careful because you can lose chocolate in the microwave like real fast. But if you're gonna double, I never know if it's broil or it's boil. Double boil. Just you just want this to be sealed all the way around, and just get any medium bowl you have, and then you're just gonna. I always like preheat the bowl, and you want just like 1 inch of water right here, so you never want the water touching. You're just creating steam, and we're gonna melt this. And
Could you do it with just the one pot as long as the bowl is not touching the water?
Yeah.
We have that's the one that with the built-in colander within the lower pan.
Yeah. You just don't want the water touching just 1 inch of water so it doesn't touch the.
Take a look at the crust. Looking good.
Yeah. So we're just gonna melt this, and a lot of times I'll melt it till it's just melted. I like to have a little bit of, I like it smooth, but I also like, especially when I have chips, like when I make mousse and stuff. I used to work at Charlie Brown's at this restaurant, and they would make mousse, and it had like chunks of chocolate in it, and I always like that. So I'm gonna turn this off because this is like really.
And you were doing that over
medium.
Medium heat?
Mm-hmm. It was like a slow, gradual, gentle, nice process. I think the chocolate likes to be melted like this. So now we're gonna take this. I always think of our nephew when he lived with us. He told me, steam doesn't burn. I was like, okay. You know how when we're kids, we have to.
He was 12 at the time.
Kids have to learn for themselves. We all did. So I let the steam burn him. I tried to tell him, but then I just let the steam burn him.
Point being, be very careful when you pull the bowl off of there because a bunch of hot steam is going to escape.
Yeah. You know, like when you do that, you only do that like once when you do it for yourself, right? My mom did, well, my mom always will say it 1,000 times and not, but I think it's better when you learn. It's like touching the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
You only touch the fire like once.
I don't know, some people need to touch it 2 or 3 times before they learn.
That's true. So, I think the easiest way to level this is just by kind of shimmying it side to side, rather than using like a spatula. The parchment makes it really uneven, which for my, you know, that kind of bothers me, right? I'm sure you can guess.
Uneven?
The uneven on the side. So after I pop them out, I kind of break off the sides a little bit.
Makes a little lip there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
As you're evening it out.
So I let them set for just a second. And I imagine like how many I'm gonna cut this in. You don't have to do this, but I kind of imagine how many I'm gonna cut this in before I put the fruit on, because I don't like cutting through fruit, really, if I don't have to. Because some things aren't, you know, cut friendly. So then I go, okay, I'm gonna cut this in 16. So
16 pieces?
Mm-hmm.
So 4 by 4?
Mm-hmm. I did a little, these are a little
Well,
off.
I guess they're going to be slightly different size pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe the ones over on the right, those first ones are going to be a
move
little
them
bit bigger. These ones will be a little smaller. That way people can choose what size piece they want.
Yeah, you get the gist.
Yeah, some people may prefer a smaller piece. You can see we've chopped the pistachios.
Mm-hmm. You only need
Not
like...
super fine.
Yeah.
Kind of very coarsely chopped.
You only need like 4 strawberries. I need to rinse my hands off. I did some like in all various sizes.
I don't think you're going to be able to make sure you place the pistachios to where they don't
You can
land
if you
on
want.
a cut line.
You can if you want.
That'd be a bit harder.
With patience, anything is possible, right? We usually do like 3 different things like coconut, blackberries, etc. But the Toblerone ones, we just kind of...
We were kicking around maybe doing this with macadamia nuts too, which maybe try that next time to see how that tastes.
And also when I cut, sometimes I move things around while I'm cutting to like avoid things, like I pick it up and, you know.
Yeah, if there's a big old fat pistachio right where you want to cut.
Like I just threw. I think that's good.
Yeah.
And then you just
the
put
green
them...
and the green and red looks good together.
It sure does. And so that's a wrap. And then these things, like we store them in the freezer a lot of times if they don't get eaten right away. Like we'll put them in the fridge and then we'll take them out like when we want one and let it sit on the counter for like about 5-10 minutes. Just it depends on the season, like how hot it is in the house. But you'll know when it's ready.
And that allows the chocolate to soften a little bit so it's not so hard to bite through, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, just let these...
Finished product?
Yeah. Good. Thank you. She's in dinner position. Hi. We're back to making videos. It's midnight, our time.
People are like, what is wrong with you people?
Graham crackers, Rainy, Jen, Rainy, dinner position.
Okay.